We have something called a county cooperative extension service. If you want to start any kind of ag business, you would call them, not go to Google, don't find somebody, a consultant. They will know all the programs, to do, and they're free. So we have free mentors to help you become a farmer. And we want more people to become farmers. And people don't start trying things until they have the right idea. No, you'll never do anything. Because there is no wrong idea if you're not doing anything. The wrong idea is doing nothing. Anything above that is great because you're going to learn something to grow on.
Hello and welcome to the Regenerative Design Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Lesko, and in this show, I interview the leading authorities in the world of regenerative practices, people who do good and do well. Are you a person that cares about your environment and our planet? Are you a person that wants to leave the planet to our children to be something that we can be truly proud of? Something to enjoy for many generations to come? But are you also a person that believes we can do all of this and do good in business? Well, I have really good news for you. You're here listening to the podcast that is all about making our planet a better place and making your business more successful. Enjoy the show. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Regenerative Design Podcast. Today we have another amazing guest. His name is Matthew Lesko. He's also better known as the Question Man. And Matthew is an expert in everything that has to do with government grants. He's an expert in knowing what government grants are available in the US for people to tap into that so they can actually get grants to help them in their life. More specifically, today we're going to talk about all the grants that are available for people to do something good for our environment, for their personal life, for their health. So Matthew, I'm very excited to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
Very good. Now, I bet you say that to everybody, though.
What do you mean?
Well, I remember I used to do a lot of talk shows years and years ago, and I'd see the host say, "Oh, my very special guest today is Matthew Lesko," and then I'll do my thing, and then the next person will go, "My very special guest here is John Schwartz, very, very special."
Well, I only have special guests coming onto my show.
I see.
I set the bar high, so
that explains it.
Great. So, Matthew, tell me more about your backstory. Like, where did everything start, and how did you get into the work you're doing today?
Well, I've been doing this for 50 years now. After I had a whole bunch of things that failed. I'm 81 already, and I feel like about 10, 12 years to go. And I got to work every bloody day because what I feel I'm doing is important. And it's the best thing in life is to get up in the day and have something you feel is important to do. I mean, that just gets through all of the shit you're going to have to get through in life.
I love that. I agree with you.
Because life's going to beat you up no matter who you are. So you get beat up out there. And I think a way to not take all that personally, because it isn't, it's just the universe, shit's on everybody. And you have to have a purpose in life that's a little bigger than just you. And I've been fortunate. It took me a while to do that. And in the beginning of life or professional life, you're figuring out how to feed yourself. And then I think when you're trying to figure out, well, what are you good at? And it's deeper than that. And I think you get more confused the more education you get, because everybody tells you the things that you should do to succeed.
Oh yeah.
And so you're looking outside, and we don't look inside. And thank God I failed at everything. I got an MBA in computers. I was a professor in computers back in the 70s, and had a software company that failed and everything. That wasn't me. I mean, that was where the country was going and an opportunity. But it thank God it failed, because I'd be mediocre something. Wow. And you can't grow I feel we're all organic. We're like a tree. I mean, I don't know for sure. I don't study this stuff scientifically. I'm just thinking from my heart. that we have to keep growing or else we die, no matter what age. And we have things that keep growing, and to grow the best. And I think we grow in order we could give the best. How can we give more of ourselves, not less? That's why people think of work as something boring. No, this is a mission in life. How you can contribute to other people's well-being, and how well can you do that, and how hard you could do it. Not easy. I mean, easy is boring.
Yeah.
You want something to challenge. I mean, you don't want to play soccer against a 5-year-old. You can beat them, right? And that's easy.
Yes.
No, you want somebody to challenge you, so you challenge yourself every day to grow. And that's why everybody, because they're not looking at in themselves what they have that's special that they could give. Because if you find that out, then you could do that better than anybody else. Because everybody says that's weird about you. Well, that's a clue on what you're special at. Your weird shit is a clue to your uniqueness, and your uniqueness is a special thing you have to give to all the rest of us. Yeah. But we all want to be successful, so we copy other people's success, and we're not even good at it.
I love that. But tell me, I love what you're saying about like failing. You're happy that you failed. I think
God.
there's some value in failing yourself to success, trying different things until you find what is for you the weird thing about you. So tell me what's weird about you, and how did you come to understand it, what it is?
Well, it's what I call it, like the way I dress. I mean, I dress like this is everything. I mean, like
I love it.
cartoons all over.
People should watch it on YouTube.
My cars have question marks on them, and everything. And that's me inside. It took me a long time to even to have the courage to start wearing question mark suits, because especially being in America and the era I grew up in, all the macho guys, and I thought I have to defend my honor every day. And I'm not that kind of person interested in doing that. But I saw what it did. I mean, it really changed my life, because it showed to me that my clothes show what I am inside. So I'm wearing outside what I feel inside. And this way, a lot of people don't like it. And I've been kicked out of so many television shows when I first started wearing it. But this is me. And if you like this, I know I'm going to like you. So it's a filter.
Ooh, interesting.
So if you think I'm an idiot, we're saving each other a lot of time spending any time together. So it's a filter. And because this is me inside, what I feel, how I feel. And it just opens I mean, I can't believe the life I have because of wearing these suits, and still do. I take long walks or exercise all the time, and it just makes people smile. I mean, what better job is there for any of us to be able to just do something that makes people smile when they look at you?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it just and I stumbled in by accident, and I think that's it. And doing anything. Now, to me, one of the philosophies now is your heart is smarter than your brain, because that's where the good stuff is. And that's where the humanity is. Your brain, you're conniving, calculating, all this kind of stuff. It's you might as well be a bot.
True. But it takes courage to go follow your heart.
Yeah, we get no encouragement. School doesn't. I was so bored in school, I just got thrown out all the time. I just entertained the students. It wasn't anything malicious. But yeah, and that's the gift. We all have something that can make us more lovable than anybody else. And that's the gifts we have. But we're afraid to show them because it's not normal. It's not whatever. And when you do, boy, you get more love. And that's the key, I think. And actually, at my age, like I'm 81, and my whole life I've been trying to get smarter, faster, stronger. In a male culture in the United States, that's what life is. Well, by the time I'm 81, I'm not going to get better at any of those things. They're just going to start sinking. I keep my mind is getting worse. My speed is getting slower. My strength is getting less. But I could love harder.
Ooh,
See, so you could love harder. So
nice.
that's why I wear hearts now.
Mm.
That's one thing I could keep growing. You have to find something to grow for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's
Because we're
interesting.
living so goddamn long. My grandparents dying and they're 63, 64. Shit, I'm also already 81. As
Well,
I figured I have another 10 years or so.
at
And
least who knows.
yeah,
But Matthew, I'm just curious, like, how does a man that's so interesting and flamboyant, I would say, as like you're outspoken, let's say, how does a man like you end up getting specialized in helping people to get government grants? Because they seem very far. They seem like two worlds that are far apart.
yeah, it does. I don't see them as grants. I see them as tools in our society to help you do what you want to do or get out of financial trouble.
Mm,
So I see, if you're a lawyer or something, you go to a lawyer or something like that. To me, I see people are stopping themselves from doing things because they don't have money. Okay, I could show you how to get free money to do whatever the fuck you want. Or I have so much debt, I'm in trouble, I don't know what to do. Hey, I'll show you where to get money to get out of debt and free financial help to do that. What I also see in doing this work is that our society, and yours is too, probably not as much because you're uh, more community oriented. I feel in the United States, I feel that there's two modes in the United States, and probably in most developed societies. We have capitalism, which works pretty good, but that only represents about 2/3 of our economy is capitalism. We have a third of our economy that, in what I say, is communityism, or just community,
mm,
where we help each other. Churches, government does that, nonprofit organization. In the United States, that's a third of everything.
mm,
So 2/3 of everything we have requires you money to participate. Okay.
mm.
1/3 gives money so you can participate.
Interesting.
and but the problem is we don't know how to use the 1/3. All we know is Google. Google is all about capitalism. Everybody there is going to get money from you to do something. So when people go look for help, they go to Google, and yeah, I could solve my problems if I had money. Well, I don't have money. What the hell am I doing here? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so they get scammed. They go deeper in debt to try to solve a problem, whatever, and they don't know how to use the community part because they
Mm,
don't advertise. They're not looking for you. They don't have that kind of money. Capitalism looks for you and spends money to find you.
mm. So let's talk more about it, and we could tie it back, obviously, to the podcast in regenerative design. So it's all
Yeah.
about doing something good for the environment and doing good at business. And I think your work can support doing that. Obviously, in farming, for those who are listening, in farming, it's quite a common thing that you have subsidies to support farmers. Otherwise, they get flooded by um, produce that comes from countries where the currency is just different and they can't compete. So that's kind of a common thing already. But is there? Well, we can talk more about that. What's your experience with the farmers?
All the farmers are a small fraction because we have industrial farming. We got 5 people making all the food,
Yeah,
kind of thing. But it's growing again because we have now more food to table stuff.
yeah,
Our rural area. My son is one of these people. I'm going out to see him tomorrow. And he's an off the grid kind of thing and more self sufficient farming. And we have an infrastructure for that. That is really captured somewhat by the manufacturing, but it tries a lot. And I think what's best, we have something called a county cooperative extension service. If you want to start any kind of ag business, you would call them. You not go to Google. Don't find somebody, a consultant. They will know all the programs,
mhm,
to do, and they're free. So we have free mentors to help you become a farmer. And we want more people to become farmers. We have more programs for people to get into the ag business. I was just putting, where was it? I find new programs all the time, but to get into the meat, I mean, there's some. Where is it? Hospital. Anyway, some state, and most of this at the state level. There's national programs, but that's the money usually goes from the state on the federal to the state and then the local county. And so that's why most of the places is locally. And you talk to the people there who do that all the time. Instead of going on Google, you just get overwhelmed. And it's, to me, it's talking to somebody that knows this, been doing this for 20 or 30 years, and they know what's there. They may not know everything, but they give you an overview and tell you the best things to look at. Because otherwise you get a fire hose in Google and you don't know a good thing from a bad. But these people read all that stuff. They know the best already. So that's why, to me, as we get more computerized and digitized and everything, that we have too much information to process and to tell what's good or bad. And that's why people are important. You know, it's the people been doing this 5, 10, 15 years. They know all this stuff, and they could cut through this for you. And sure, there's new little sprouts of important stuff that they may not know about. But to get the grounding is really relying on people.
Nice. So tell our listeners, how do you specifically help people to get what they need?
Well, I train them. I train them to do, but you don't need. Here's what you do: you want to start any kind of business in America. The first thing to do is you go to SBA for Small Business Administration.gov, and then /local-assistance. SBA.gov/local-assistance, all small letters. And you put in your zip code there, and see, the community society supports people to help you decide what business should be in, where to get the money, the legal help you need. You need marketing help, you need technology help, everything. All that is free. And you put in your zip code, and you'll find a half a dozen to 24 organizations in your zip code that will sit down with you one-on-one and help you do that for free.
Wow.
See, people aren't trained to do that because they go to Google and they're going to just keep stumbling into people that want money, and they profess all this kind of shit. Yeah. And it's hard to beat them because it's so easy. I mean, I've been marketing my whole life, 50 years of business or more. And it's hard to market. The key is to me to try to understand what will make you give me money. And in marketing, in slower times, we had to do it through direct mail. So I do an ad, put it in the mail, wait 2-3 weeks to get the, hey, no, I didn't sell anything. So that was a bad thing to say. Now you could do that process in nanoseconds. So I could try a million things to figure out what will make you give me money on the internet. So easy. That doesn't work. Try this. Instead of waiting for the mail and see if you read it and take forever. So that's right. You can't beat the internet. I mean, and Google. I mean,
and with AI now, it's only getting faster.
And actually, you know what? AI is better. But because now I think instead of going to Google looking for grants to do something, if you go to AI, I use ChatGPT and put in, say, I want to start a farm in Minnesota. Give me all the programs and the people who help me with money and help to start a farm in Minnesota, and that are nonprofit and government offices. You'll get that. And because I know them and I test this all the time, you'll get the real stuff because nobody's selling you anything.
That's great advice.
That's like going, to me, it reminds me of back in the 70s and 80s when I used to go to the library to find stuff out. That's where all the information was. And nobody's selling you anything there. It was just literature and journals and all this kind of stuff to do the research. Now that it's on the internet, but you can't get through it and do it.
Overload.
This podcast is brought to you by the Garden of Your Dreams Masterclass. Are you struggling with finding the right tools and tricks for your garden? Are you lacking the confidence to be a self-sufficient gardener? Do you sometimes get overwhelmed by the lack of knowledge and time you have to actually do gardening? Then the Garden of Your Dreams Masterclass is for you.
So on a day-to-day basis, how do you support people in their endeavors?
Well, I have a group, and it's a community, I call it. And I used to sell books, reference books and stuff like that. People stopped buying reference books. And it took me a number of years to find out how do people want to buy this stuff? And to me, I found it's a community. They don't want to buy a book. They don't want to even buy a class and things. A community to be with people themselves. So now we have a group, about 12,000 people, and I only charge $20 a month. That's it. So I should charge tens of thousands for this, because rich people pay that because they're going to make millions off of it. But I don't want to help rich people anymore. They're so boring. I want to help the average person. And to get them to use this system, and wanted to do it for $20, not $200 or $400 with all the experts are telling me. And we're making progress. And now they help each other. Like right now, before I went on with you, we have, always me or other members helping members. Hey, this is what I got. This is how I got it. You can do it too. And so they're available on Zooms to ask other members questions of how they did it. So the community, and this happened by accident. I just thought, I'll have a platform and, a way to get a subscription get money from people to keep myself fed. But now it grew. We're so profitable now and we're just a small little company. We give out $70,000 in grants to members. So our extra profit we give back to members. And that's like 40% of our whole business. We're able to be profitable and give it back to members.
That's amazing. What a beautiful endeavor.
And the members are helping members.
That's community. I think it's true.
Being a guru or whatever. I'm just sort of like the trained seal, that attract people into the zoo.
I agree.
But Facebook just came out. They're giving out $100 million. And they have this big campaign, all this publicity. They're giving out $100 million to small businesses to do anything, $100 million. And I looked at that because I'm very proud of giving out all this money, because I thought I'd have to be Jeff Bezos to do something like this. So just a little pipsqueak like me is able to give out $70,000 a month. So I looked at YouTube. Facebook has $140 billion in sales. So their 100 million, the percentage of that sales is 0.0007% of sales. We're given 40% of our sales in grants. And that's sort of nice to poke there.
That's amazing. You can be very proud of that. And I just want to know more about how it became to be an accident. You just started small, and then how did you promote it, or it's just the members started recommending it?
I'm convinced. Again, your heart is smarter, and you don't know what's the best way to do, because you don't have feedback. Feedback is the most important thing, and feedback from people you want to help. So what I started doing first was, okay, I'm available free. I'll help you with anything. How do you package something? And you just keep trying. People don't start trying things until they have the right idea. No, you'll never do anything, because there is no wrong idea if you're not doing anything. The wrong idea is doing nothing.
Yes, thinking about
the only thing that's wrong. Anything above that is great, because you're going to learn something to grow on. You don't know what it is. And that's why you have to do a lot of stupid stuff that looks stupid from behind. And then when you find it, everybody thinks you're a genius. Shit, no, I just stumbled.
That's it. I love that.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's where most people get hung up.
Exactly.
They have this beautiful idea or an idea or a direction, and they just ponder upon it, how to do it and when to start. And waiting for the right moment, maybe looking at the stars and waiting till the stars align.
Or and waiting for money. See, I don't even think you need money. There's ways to do anything without money.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And that's it, particularly with technology. Before, like when I grew up, if I wanted to have a store, I was thinking maybe a men's store or something. Well, that's a couple $100,000 just have a store. Now for $20, you have a store on Etsy.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's so easy to start anything. And the only thing you have to worry about is customers. Nothing else is important. And we get how to start a business, and you go online, and all the lawyers and everybody and experts tell you whatever. None of that matters. No, don't even, especially here in America, I said, don't even figure out what you need to do with the government. Forget it. You don't have a customer. You don't have money. You figure out how to get a customer and how to get money. Because it's going to take the government 3 years to find you. And none of my businesses at first lasted that long. So I said, why am I wasting my time? And if they find you, then you owe some little fine or something like that. Mm-hmm. That'll be a nice time if you're still in business in 3 years from now. So that's all. The people, should I be incorporated? LLC? Doesn't matter. That's not critical to your success. Critical to your success is just getting a customer. And that's why we spend all this money doing all this other stuff, and then go out and get customers. We have no more money left or whatever, or time, and we probably don't even need it. And so that's why you find out how you're going to get customers, get feedback from people, do a crowdfunding site. This is what I want to do. You want to join me? Hey, cost you $20 at least. See what will people buy. And not ask them for advice on, hey, would you pay for this? People will be nice, and they say, yeah, and they try to be nice. Ask for money. So even if you don't have it yet, and you could do that ahead of time with a crowdfunding site. Okay, this is what I'm going to have. You want to be in? It's going to be only 10% if you join now. To see what people will do with the money. People will be polite. Will you buy this, that? Maybe. You maybe get something there, but not until they give money. And that's it. And don't ask your friends unless they're your market. That's I got caught up. I would be doing commercials. I'd show them my commercials, and they have all this advice. And I'd take it, I'd try to fix it. And stuff. Then I realized they never bought anything from TV. I'm selling on television to people who watch television. My friends, social friends, never buy anything from TV.
So it's not the best advice to get.
Right. Yeah. And then loved ones, I feel, could be your worst enemy.
Yeah, they want to protect you from failing.
Absolutely. Right on it. And you have to fail. The only way you're going to learn. I mean, I think of it like if my son, when he was at 1 year old trying to walk, and he maybe crawl over this thing and try to take a step, I said, you're going to fail. Don't do that. Then he's going to fail, and he never learn to walk. So
I love that. That's super valuable advice.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious more, Matthew, about the topics around gardening, sustainability. What programs are you aware of in America that can support people to either on a private level or even on a business level to do green development?
We have lots, and they're growing every day. They're local. Every county government will have them. You can get grants for community gardens. Department of Energy. You want to go to your state office of the Department of Energy. Biden just put a whole bunch of money to make your house greener, and they have $17,000 worth of grants you can now get, and they're just starting to pop up. I mean, the law was passed 2 years ago. And now it's coming through the system finally. He'll be gone. And people will finally be able to get this money to get more green appliances and weatherize your house better and all that. So and you see those organizations at the state level. So everyone, you go to your state Department of Energy. Are you online? Could I show you something online? Can you go separately and look at this website?
Tell me.
Findhelp.org.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I bet it won't work. You're overseas. You need a zip code. Let's try my zip code. 20009.
www.findhelp.org, right?
Right.
It
Okay.
seems to be blocked from this part of the world.
Yeah, that's right. You're not. Okay. That's a
Interesting.
community database of community things. Now, if you put my zip code in there, you'll see 4,000 nonprofit organizations that help you with anything.
Oh.
And so if you want to repair your house, you could put home repair in there because you want to weatherize your house or something like that. And you'll easily find 30, 40, 50 nonprofit organizations that give money and help to improve your house.
Mm.
Gardening, you can put gardening in there.
That's interesting.
And it's the same thing.
So, I love that because I have a program where I teach people online how to design, create, and maintain their own garden. And it's wonderful. Starting to be very successful because it's completely offline. Online. It's completely online, so it's easier to teach, and I have clients all across the world. So whenever I can support them in getting plants or other materials or other resources for them to be better at it, I'm definitely going to look into it.
Okay, well that is a place for them to get resources. And it's anything. You can put rent in there. You can put mortgages, financial, you're in debt and can't get out of debt. You get free credit counselors to get you out of debt and everything in there. It's amazing. I don't know what do you call it? When I was in China, we had something that the computer couldn't tell you where you're from. What do you call that? You know what I mean? You disappear as where you are. Can't think.
I don't know about that.
Sort of like a dark web or something. But
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, but you had to see anything in China, you had to get VIVI or
VNP, yeah.
Yeah, right. You had to get
a VPN, I think.
Yeah, VPN. Yeah, that's what it is. So they don't know where you're from, because otherwise you couldn't see anything, and you couldn't see Google or anything like that China didn't want you to see. But if you got a VPN, then you could see it. Mm-hmm. So maybe you want to look at that if you have a lot of clients. And
oh yeah, totally. I think it's great advice. So have you seen any programs that you specifically know, or even some case studies with clients or stories that are related to green developments?
God, it is loaded. I mean, and
tell us, what's the best story that we have from that experience in the last year?
Well, I can't think. I help many people, not with gardening, but
or sustainable development, maybe even.
Well, that's what I mean. See, now, I mean, this with $14,000, of grants to do that. And see, it's the source. And the other thing, you have to, if you're a gardener, you could get a free lesson on gardening you want to get the Department of Agriculture locally, and they have free courses that will train you in gardening.
Oh.
And you become a master gardener. Mm-hmm. And, the Agriculture Department does that in every county. That's why the County Cooperative Extension Service. Maybe let me give you a link. Okay.
We're gonna have to cut this out a little bit. Just making a note for my team.
Where is there a chat here?
No.
Oh shit! Oh, I have a link I want to give you. This is how to find your local county cooperative extension service that teach you gardening, help you find money for gardens, help you find free plants and stuff like that. All that stuff with gardening is available in every county in America.
Oh.
So if they're not
we'll
here,
put that in the show notes. I'd love to share that.
How would do I have anything do I have an email of yours or something or?
Yeah, we'll find that out, and we'll get that sorted. So yeah, Matthew, I'm very impressed by the work you are doing. What are you still most excited about for the future?
Oh, how many people I could help before I die?
Do you have a specific number?
No, I have no. But no, it's putting your effort somewhere, have somewhere to do. Every day is different. I don't know what or how it. Like podcasts, I just start doing that. I used to do a lot of interviews in the '90s, and I'm in Oprah a whole bunch of times, and all these big shows because that's how you sold books.
Mm.
And with the internet, that didn't. So I'm still learning new ways to educate people and to have something of value that they could do. And I'm getting closer to that. I see that this thing may be able to, after I'm gone, because I always thought the government should be doing this and they never got around to doing it. I waited for 50 years and that we should have a single place that people learn about all the programs that they could take advantage of that we have for free. And we still have to fight Google. And so I'm getting closer to think this may be it.
Well, yeah, you have how many members you said? 12,000 members are there?
Awesome. Yeah. There's more, but I think a lot of them don't pay.
That's incredible.
I would do this all for free, so it doesn't matter.
No, I think it's important to, because that's also part of what the Regenerative Design podcast is about, that whatever endeavor you want to achieve, now specifically about doing something good for the environment or the planet, there should be a business aspect to it, because otherwise it's not sustainable.
Exactly. Absolutely. So that's why I feel, that's why inventions and something, I always feel that people, the world should have this, but if the world doesn't want it, you can't make the love to somebody who doesn't want your love. You got to find out what they need and love them their way. Yes. Otherwise, you're just making love to yourself, and that's no fun. No. And that's why I feel, so that's why you start with the person, and it's so hard in market studies to find out what people really need, and it's better to have something to ask them for money for, so you can see if that really is not. And that's and it just takes some time. So if your heart's in it, you'll be in it and stay until you figure it out. If it's not, I'm just here for a quick buck, then you go back selling real estate.
I like that. So, Matthew, what is your single best piece of advice for our listeners here that have already started their own business or want to shift to create their own business, do something good for our planet, for our environment, so that it can can stay a beautiful planet for many generations to come? I think but they obviously want to get paid for it as well. What's your best advice on that?
Yeah, the trick is, how do you get paid for it? And I think the easiest way is some kind of service like you're trying to do. So you're teaching people and whatever, and that costs no money to do. You just have to find members. But it's following your heart is, I probably said this already, your heart is smarter than your brain. And that will get you through a lot more in life, because you're going to get beat up no matter what you do. Life is not going to like what you do. And you can't get out of doing that. So you got to have your heart in it to make it through.
Oh, I love that. I think it's a beautiful way of looking at it. Listening more to your heart to achieve your goals.
Right.
On that note, Matthew, I think we're going to start wrapping it up here. I'm super thankful for you to come on here. Just for people that are interested in about your work, about your program, can you tell us how they can find you, how they can connect with you, where can they find you?
Leskohelp.com. That's the $20 thing.
Lesko, that is Lesko.
Help, HELP.com. Okay. Or I have about 9,000 videos on YouTube that I put a couple up every day. And that's youtube.com/Matthew Lesko.
Nice. That's amazing. That's 100 videos a year in the course of your life.
Oh, that's right.
A little over even. Oh, impressive.
Well, I hate writing.
Yeah, that's it. Speaking is better. All right, Matthew, thank you very much for coming on to the show, and hope to have you on sometime soon again.
Well, hurry up. I only have about 10 years left.
All right, thank you very much. Take care.